Hi there. I was thinking about telling you about a little story about Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers that happened to me when I was about 9 years old. My dad took us to this place where they sold like used things, and it's kind of like a private flea market, just a little building, and the guy had his little store there. But he had guns too, he sold guns. So my dad was up there talking to him about guns because my dad was really into guns. And I was just walking around the store looking for something to do. And in the back, there was a mannequin in a glass uh, big box, a full-grown mannequin of a man who was supposed to be a copy of a guy who had died in one of the Al Capone murders. And the guy's laying there dead with bullet holes all over in him, and he looked real. I mean, at that age, it scared me really bad. I didn't want to go back there, so I was walking to get around there, and Frank Morris is standing there. Now this would have been, I believe this would have been after the escape. It might have been before the escape from Alcatraz. I'm not sure. Anyway, and he was like jingling change in his pocket, and I find out later, or figure out later, that he was actually having some fun with himself while he looked at this dead person. And it was a wax mannequin, it wasn't a real person, but anyway. And I was watching him jingling his change in his pockets, which is what I thought he was doing at 9 years old. And I didn't say anything, and all of a sudden I hear from I don't know where this deep voice that said, "You'll like it." He never turned or anything, and I looked around, and he goes, "What are you looking at?" "I'm over here." And I looked back at him, and he goes, "Yeah, you like it." And and the voice sounds like it's coming from somewhere else. And that's what one of the points I want to make. You look through my FBI files, and it says in there that Frank Morris was known to be able to throw his voice. And there's places where they say the same thing about the Zodiac killer, that he was known to be able to throw his voice. Now, I said, "No, I don't." And he said, "Oh, you're looking at it." And I was like, "What?" And there was 3 little girls standing beside me. One of them was my age, and the other couple of them were younger. And the girl that was my age was really having fun with the whole thing. The other one was like terrified, who was a little younger than her. And then there was a little baby one who just looked like she didn't get any of it. They ended up kidnapping that girl. I think it was the one that was my age, because I saw him put her in the car and her try to go across the seat and get out the other side. And she couldn't, because they had taken the winders off of the window. Back then the windows had to be wound up and down, and you could take the handles off too with just a screw. So that just gives you an idea of what Frank Morris was capable of, and the Anglin brothers. And that poor girl, I know she disappeared forever and suffered on the way out. Now, I told my dad what was going on, so him and the store owner grabbed a gun, and they went back there, and these guys run out because they tried to get me out into the car, but I escaped from them, and I ran and told my dad. And they got in the car and left. There's more details in this if you want to get my book, My Dance with the Zodiac Killer. All the details are in there from this kind of escape type thing. Now, they got her in the car and they left with her. And the next day or two, we were going to go back there. My dad was driving, and I was a kid in the passenger. And back then the cars didn't even have seat belts. And he drove. We went to drive by there, and the place, there was like 7 cop cars out in front of there. And my dad went inside,